Welcome to the DudeBros podcast.
The DudeBros podcast.
This is the DudeBros podcast. This is the DudeBros podcast. This is the DudeBros podcast.
First of all, do y'all know who Questlove is?
Yes.
I've gotten to play with so many different people. You know, one of the questions was like, I forgot exactly how it was phrased, but it was like, when did you see the best moment of true like musical genius, like pure talent? Because he's, like I said, he's been able to play with such a broad range of people.
Prince. Okay, sorry.
Do you want to guess too? I mean, he's.
Oh no, I'm just here for the ride.
Will Ferrell.
Oh, drumming.
No, and it was one of the very recent SNL sketches, and it was one of the ones you mentioned in our last DudeBros podcast episode. It's airing as we're recording this one, so go check it out, folks. Weekly episodes, Monday, 7:30. In that episode, you were talking about, he's playing the piano, he's got his female partner.
And a guest star. Mm-hmm.
He had to learn a Kendrick Lamar song, and it was a last-minute decision. It was I think, Thursday evening decision. They were like, hey, this is trending right now. We could possibly do this sketch if y'all know the song? And they're like, no, we didn't. And he played it, and Will Ferrell's like, okay, give me 20 minutes. And then he went, listened to the song, like, twice, and then came out there and performed it, which if I can get the clip for SNL, put it up there.
I think it was on the Friday, right? Because
Yeah,
I think they were doing is it the 45th anniversary of SNL or something like that? They did a whole musical segment that Friday where they had different musical performers, and Will Ferrell and Anna Gasteyer did one of their bit of the. I don't know if they're like supposed to be like a church group or something like that.
I forgot what it was.
Anyways, but continue. Yes, I'm familiar with it.
So yeah, it was just.
So Questlove is the one that pitched it to him and told him to.
No, Questlove was just.
He's just talking about it in general.
He was just in there. He's involved, and he got to like personally see and witness that this happened in this quick time, and then he came out.
Everybody at the party playing those down. We're playing here around. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. I'm gonna do myself. Play a turtle like a bitch, shake your tie, try like a chord, and it's probably A minor.
And he did that, and he was like, knew all the lyrics to this intricate Kendrick Lamar song, had the beat and everything in there. And he went and he approached Will, and he was, well, like, how are you able to do that? And he was like, well, I mean, comedy and music are the same thing. It's just rhythm, And
It's a good quote.
And he was like, that was, so yeah, for me, I mean, I know I've played with all the people, but that would be the real answer. And that was,
wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was something that was interesting to me, and a true, today I learned moment,
Right.
Because that's a really cool fact.
What's your feelings on Questlove as a person?
I haven't met the guy, so I don't know. Like, this was really probably the longest, more than a minute or two, anything I've seen of him really ever, other than him, in a music setting performing.
Yeah, he's part of the house band for the Jimmy Kimmel Tonight Show. And so he's like the playoff of banter kind of guy, or one of them. So I've only really been exposed to him as that character, and then as the interviews, and he's, very well educated.
That's a very specific character you have to be.
Right. Yeah. But clearly he's very talented.
Yeah, and intelligent. He seems very eloquent.
Like I said, very well spoken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For those at home, GB has not grown up a wrestling fan or anything at all like that, and I think Brian's made it his personal mission to impart some wrestling knowledge on GB every opportunity that he gets. And I enjoy it immensely.
I'm here to learn.
Well, I mean, I was the kid that lived through the Attitude Era, so that was, I mean, by a lot of people's standards, that was the most popular wrestling ever was. So it was literally everywhere. Everybody had a 316 shirt. Everybody had a DX t-shirt. Everybody had a Rock t-shirt. And it didn't matter what country you were in because everybody was part of the, everybody was part of the gig. It was hard to not be a part of that in my age bracket. I was the one getting in trouble in high school or in middle school going, suck it to my teacher. So,
Simpson.
yeah.
The 90s were a really good time to be a part of something, right? You got different music scenes. So, you got your grunge, you get your Eminem kind of thing. Maybe in my household, we didn't watch wrestling. We weren't allowed to. And so my exposure for wrestling would usually come in the form of like an N64 game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here playing and they all know the names of all these characters. And I'm more just like, I don't have a game console at home. I'm like, how do these buttons work? And why is this dude beating me to death with a chair right now? So that was my exposure to wrestling at that age, at least. Then obviously, as you get older, you start to pay attention to the people that are getting traction, the people that were old and are coming back. We mentioned Hulk Hogan, my exposure to him was it Rocky 3? Is that?
Throwback right there.
Right, but I mean, you're getting
Hulkster.
right. But you're getting, I think that's kind of the beginning of that era that you're talking about. Is coming in maybe the mid '80s, and then it starts to really get its peak maybe the early '90s. Am I getting the timeline right, or is it more of the mid '90s?
Well, Hulk.
I'm saying for the industry as a whole.
Well, you kind of had that shift in the 80s because that's when Vince was buying up all the fiefdoms, buying all the talent. I mean, he would literally go to every single territory, buy their best guy, bring him to his show, come back to that town with that guy with a different name, a little more flashy, and then sell the. That was really when Vince started to take over, and he used Hulk Hogan to do that. He was the hood ornament in which he pushed the cable TV. He got in with USA Network, all that.
Greatest heel turn in all time, I think, is what you said last episode.
I heard Greg McElroy drop heel as the expression in the game. I guess it was the Auburn-Oklahoma game.
I would say the majority of sports ball bros are wrestling bros, hands down.
Well, I'm just saying, I feel like they're, and of course he's of the appropriate age for that group too. But him dropping that in, I'm like, oh, I know what that is now. Thanks to Brian. The more you know.
You feel culturally informed.
Let's culture this swine.
Well, I think it's important to get familiar with things that you have no experience with. I love stories. That's what it really comes down to. And I mean, I think wrestling has its own stories, and they create their own stories that they try to portray in the fights that come out too. So I definitely have an appreciation for that.
That's human nature, though. We're all about stories. And my first true exposure was actually across the ocean, overseas deployed.
Oh, it was that late?
Yeah, because everyone that I've encountered, they've got this central vein, very similar to him.
Well, it was an intriguing time because now everything's kind of been played out. It's like, how many times can you shake the Etch-a-Sketch and make it a little bit different? It was moving into that reality-based kind of, suspension of disbelief was much more apparent, and especially a lot of places with that real life behind the scenes kind of deal.
I don't know. I think with the advent of this era right here, I've seen more further out there stuff, a lot more little people wrestling, a lot more disabled people wrestling, which is a thing that first popped up, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm allowed to watch this. You feel like you're like, oh, well, I mean, I figure if
they're performing, they want the
eyeball. If they're the talent, they're going through that. I'm not going to, disrespect them.
By not watching it.
Putting their body on the line and putting all that work in there. We put work into this. I would like people to watch it.
It's a valid argument, but a slippery slope.
Yeah, I get down some rabbit holes with the obscure sports stuff.
But I think we mentioned this on a different episode. You're talking about they've kind of etch-a-sketched their way out of it. I'm still of the mindset that I think a good way to pull in a different generation would have the crossover kind of matchups, where maybe you do get Amelia Clark and Jason Momoa come out there in the Game of Thrones style, and they're battling Cersei and the Mountain or something like that, And it doesn't necessarily have to be them. It'd be cool, but to have people portraying those characters.
Yeah, after our last episode, when I brought that up, kind of in the back of my mind for a few days, I was thinking of what other crossovers would be good ones to come out.
What was the best one you came up with?
Oh, I had all kinds of silly stuff. I even had like Scooby-Doo coming out there, and you had like Scooby-Doo villains as
And then you do the reveals.
And then the
It's
heel,
John Cena.
the heel turn at the end, of course, is Velma. Turns out that she's the baddie behind it, and she just takes that pretty redhead and tosses her out of the ring, I think that would be entertaining. But
Oh yeah.
you've got, like you said, near infinite possibilities, and we're of the age where everything's getting crossed over and mismatched and all this stuff. So we will probably see all kinds of. I don't even want to start putting stuff out there in the universe because it'll come true. There'll be a Toy Story one or something,
I mean, what was the highest selling pay-per-view for WWE? Does anybody know?
No, inform me.
It was the Battle of the Billionaires when old Trumpy Poo.
Right. Oh, on that note, have you seen the stadium that will be for the next match at the White House?
No.
Is that an octagon? Okay, it's MMA.
But this is where the UFC's fight will be, and there's rumors that the next wrestling big event is going to be there after this if this is a success.
Titan Sports going hard.
President command. I mean, come on.
Joe Rogan really wants to be president,
Electrolytes.
huh? I know that's immediately where my mind went too. Oh, was it Terry Crews?
But this right here, this is Andrew fucking Jackson. This is everybody come here and get fucked up at the White House because I am a populist president. Don't worry about what I'm doing. We're here to fucking party. A lot of people are dying and are going to continue dying, but America,
Fuck yeah!
Papa Glizzy and Papa Bud Light, That's where we're at.
We've been there.
This is
we're
leaning heavier and heavier.
We're about to ridiculous speed.
Ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed, that's what it is. And the Dolphins will.
You've seen the Fall of Rome, right? You've read about that?
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't around personally.
No, but you've read in the books and the stuff what they were doing right at the end.
I mean, I think there seems to be a trend, but one could argue the Roman Empire is just an extension of the Egyptian Empire, which is an extension of the Babylonian Empire.
But
notice they all have the exact same symbol, and we have the eagle that's the exact same symbol.
The premise being is that the old one died, though, and then they went over here and started again.
Did they? Is that how you look at it, or do you look at it as, hey, we have extracted as much of the resources as we can, so we'll go extract somewhere else so this can replenish or turn into the Sahara Desert?
Yes.
Dude, bro.
But that's the point, right? I mean, that's the whole point.
Water. My second favorite thing after air.
It's good stuff.
All right, so speaking of the future direction of the country, where do you think we turn now after Trump?
We're all familiar with, we'll say, there's been a lot of shootings lately. The biggest one involving Mr. Kirk. A lot of conspiracies, a lot of stuff going one way or another. Might do a separate special segment for that, but I have a feeling a lot of that is flagged and I'm not allowed to, so that is what that is. I will say his wife is someone that you should look at. Someone that is already being thrust as a potential 2028 VP candidate. Mm-hmm. Now,
I called this earlier last week to my wife. I said, you notice how
it's being pushed up, but also go back to her origins. She was never in a beauty pageant, never in anything at all like that. Allegedly, in 2012, in the mail, she got an invitation to participate in this contest from Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. That contest would be the Miss America contest. She went on to become Miss Arizona. I don't know if you remember that. Her name's Erika Frantzve at the Frantzve, just so you have the letters if you want to look up her earlier or whatever. At the same time that she was participating in this, she also has credits as being a casting director, the company being undisclosed. We assume that company is, of course, Miss America, being involved in the Trump organization right there. At the same time, she founded a ministry that operated in the country of Romania. They did a lot of stuff there. It was involved with the U.S. military. It was called the Romanian Angels, and it was in the village of Tandre. Now, the locals there accuse this organization of a lot of kidnapping and child trafficking, with the children being found in Israel and the United Kingdom and various undisclosed islands in the Caribbean. Now, that being said, she was a multimillionaire prior to meeting Charlie Kirk. Do you know how she met Charlie Kirk? She was introduced by Donald Trump.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, because this was right after they had met, and Donald Trump started becoming with Charlie Kirk around 2016. Some stuff going on there that involved Trump, maybe you recall back in the day. So this woman, powerful on her own, already had her own money. Now she's got all the money from his stuff. I think the last time I checked, the GoFundMe to help her was already like 8 million in donations too. So I mean, even more war chest, if you want to call it that, coming in there. 2018, this is 2 years after Kirk first met Trump, and she was introduced as a smart and capable young lady that should come work for you. So they set up a job interview. She went to meet Charlie Kirk, and wouldn't you know it, that job interview turned into a date. And at the end of the date, and I want to make sure I get the quote right, she said, "You're not going to be my boss. You're going to be my boyfriend." And the rest is the energy of the people that are voluntarily giving it. So let's say you have 100 million people tuning in. If you're looking at it and interpreting it through that lens, that's 100% what it would be. And you seal it up at the end by doing the nice Baphomet symbol, which you'll notice she did right at the end when Trump was consoling her, and he even reminded her. And then that's when she stuck her hand up there and, did all the signs, did all the signals that you're supposed to do to let the people in the know. And but that's just a theory, folks, that you can verify by looking up.
It's a well-researched theory.
Pure conjecture.
That was 30 minutes of looking before y'all came here. Freely available to everyone.
So you said she's going in for a vice presidential bid? Is it who she's put on the ticket with?
That's the chatter that I'm hearing right now.
So who is the front runner to go with her as president?
There's also even chatter that maybe old Trumpy stays in because we're about to have some crazy shenanigans.
Yeah, somebody called a third term.
You mean like
on another
Zelensky?
podcast?
Isn't he still president and no elections are allowed to be had?
Hey, the people were going to vote, but they voted and, we didn't like the way they voted.
But I thought that they voted that they wanted to be Russian.
But you know what? If you're 80 years old, you're now you're all conscripted. All males, frontline. All women, non-pregnant, you know what? All pregnant women, you're at least in support roles now. Come on, folks. And we're going to kidnap you and beat you up on the streets if you run. Wild. It's sad. I saw an image of one of their boot camps, and it had, literally the youngest person there was maybe in his 50s. But it just... And they're all there, their little plastic shower shoes and all going through the boot camp ritual that's designed for young, still malleable 18-year-old brains, not brains that are malleable, but not in the way you want.
Silly biscuits.
So you got Donald Trump running for a third term as a possibility. A name that we've thrown around a couple times, Mr. Rogan himself.
Well, Rogan and McConaughey is always that potential out there. I don't know if we're going to get that just yet. They still every now and then are trying to flirt with pushing Tulsi, but I don't think the reception that I think the last several years have kind of tarnished her reputation. Now, there has been talk of Candace Owens maybe getting in the mix with Tucker Carlson.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's all of the people, you got your Vanderbilts, you got your Orsinis, you got all the descendants.
The Cruella de Vil haircut was the end for me for her. It was like...
It's not so... I don't mind her appearance. I honestly don't have... I'm not like, oh, you look like a skunk, or I'm not making any comments like that or whatever.
She looks like a villain.
Hold on. My thing is on your villain note, it is something that seemed to literally occur overnight. Like she touched some curse and then I think it's Frozen. I saw that, I got little kids. So it's not where you saw some gradual grays or you saw one or two things in this one spot. It literally was a defined thing all the way through.
Maybe it appealed to a certain demographic, you know?
I know, but like that's
But I think the whole script was, if you had to pick a female president, would this be the one, right? I think that's what they've keep trying to figure out.
well, that's also why I think Candace Owens they still have in there, because even the people that might not be supporting that are still the ones who might just go, we need the first female up there. Of course, you still have the ones every now and then saying, hey, Hillary Clinton is, only mildly 95% identification to Palpatine at this point. I mean, if you put their images side by side, I mean...
Execute Order Clinton.
What? I'm just here to party. So they had a live demonstration of Meta's powerful AI through the glasses and all that, and
I'm just gonna pick that up with my neural band. Listen, yeah, let's what do you think? Go ahead.
Every man has performance issues from time to time.
I don't think we need to watch that whole video, but point being, do you think that is staged? Because
To try and take people off the thought of it being as advanced as it actually is.
You could go down that vein.
Yeah.
You could go down, maybe Meta wants to do a huge stock repurchase program in Q4. So if they lower it, they get a bigger portion back. Then this comes out as a surprise success, Q1 26. Stock jumps up there. Yeah. Could go there. Maybe a competitor sabotage this demonstration, because there's no way they haven't done this before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's clearly won these before, made a call before. This has been tested at least one time, we will assume. Probably many, many times. So, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to go. I didn't know if y'all had any.
I feel like you took all the good ones.
Well, no, I didn't know if any of those might trigger something like, oh yeah, I heard the NVIDIA was doing, whatever.
I mean, I think the stock repurchasing is probably the easiest pick. The secondary pick for me would be the technologies is far more advanced than you think it is, and we're just goofing around to show you like, oh well, we haven't got it quite figured out yet. Look at us, we're fumbling around.
You should look at the amount of money NVIDIA's investing. Jesus, dude. I mean, we've touched on the AI wars.
Well,
for
here's the thing. Times. They've put a lot of money into trying to make these chips domestically, but what happens at TSMC, Taiwan Superconductors, it's not just you taking the talent, you're poaching them, you're moving them here or there and replicating that. It is an entire industry, buildings, organizations, mentalities, entire lives devoted to this one process, everything specifically tooled for it. And at the end of the day, it is an art. It is not a repeat mechanical process. There is a literal artistic aspect, and you have to have some intuitive kind of decisions that you're making in the moment for this to be successful. And unfortunately, that's something that we have just not been able to replicate, no matter how much money we're dumping in there. I mean, I think given enough time and enough money, eventually, no matter what you do, unlock that process. But you gotta weigh the efficiency. I mean, what are you getting out of that?
Yeah, we want everything to be an assembly line, and if it's not that, then how are you going to make money from it?
Yeah, because the American mind does not think about making the quality product,
right?
Making the product that they're putting part of themselves in, having pride in, how it affects the people in the community. Because that's not how everybody's been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed to be dollar bill, get the most.
Mass production for the cheapest.
2 watches when I catch my touchdowns. Let me do my
If you can back it up, he can dance all he wants.
And the only person that I give a pass to for dancing is a certain LSU alum that is unquestionably the best receiver in the NFL. And he also can do the gritty. Pretty nasty.
Pretty damn good.
Okay.
Triple crown.
I mean, I really do think and it's the team he's on is really, it's truly a waste. Imagine if he was with one, a better supporting option to mix the game up. 2, a solid QB. Like if he had one of the top QBs, we're talking about records that hold for a while type thing.
Right.
I mean, look at Jamar Chase that did get the Triple Crown. I mean, he's got had Joe Burrow's for a few months. My toe. But
I hate it for LSU. They just literally started that campaign.
Right.
Plus Burrow.
Yep.
They've literally launched it that Saturday, 24.
Burrow can't catch a break though, man. I mean, I honestly feel bad for him. I feel like he's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and he still has Jamar Chase over there with him. But put those two together anywhere else, give them to Dallas, give them to Green Bay, give them to any of the teams that are just kind of borderline. Those two players give you a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But stuck at the Bengals and running for your life.
So this is going to be the new face kind of, I think, put in there to fill some of the Charlie Kirk voids for some of the niche scrollers.
Welcome. Introduce yourself. Go ahead.
My name's Alex Stein. I'm considered one of the sexiest men in conservative politics. And one thing I want to say, a lot of people are going to hear my testimony and you're going to say you're anti-LGBTQ. I want to say that's impossible because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So obviously I have a lot of gay pride. But, a lot of conservatives like yourself, you want to outlaw transgenders in women's sports. I disagree. I like transgenders in women's sports because you can gamble on them and win money. I won so much money on Leah Thomas's propeller in that pool. I almost turned draft kings into draft queens. And, I actually like transgenders in the military, too, because, first of all, transgenders are some of the meanest people on planet Earth, so they make a good soldier, don't you think? And then, second of all, transgenders love to do mass shootings. So, that's perfect for the military. And then on top of that, so that would be
actual
transgenders in the military and women's sports. Now, when we come to the bathroom dildo, this is an asymmetrical problem.
What's this gentleman's name?
Alex Stein.
That can't.
That's 100% real. That is the Texas, like I said, the Texas Senate.
Zero fucks given.
So we got the arena in front of the White House. We got these in Senate meetings.
It's all show, man.
It is, man. It is. And that's it's funny, but it's so tragic at the same time. But what's the alternative? Because we can't take things seriously anymore. Because if you do, it's not entertaining. You want to put the eyeballs on it.
Well, that's the thing. What needs to be taken seriously, people don't get up in arms about. Something that is done like this is clearly entertainment for the crowd, even if it isn't an official forum. But you have people whose days at least were devoted to being here to protest that, to genuinely get that vitriol in them and just resent him and send that hate down there and disrupt and support and all. And I just...
To what end?
Just think if all of this fucking nonsensical energy could be devoted to something like, hey, why don't you plant a small garden somewhere? It doesn't even have to be food. You could just make some flowers that make the world a more beautiful place on a very small level. Think how much better the world would be.
That would require some unplugging, sir. Some cords are harder to pull than others. And we're so happy that you're tuning in for us now. We like that you like and subscribe. Follow us. You can plug into us anytime that you want. Episodes every Monday.
Bazinga!
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200